Hello Maravilla residents, this is Chef Lemus and I'm here to present Let's Dish. But this time I'm not doing it alone. I have a very special guest, Sean Howard, our food service director.
Hi there, Sean Howard, Corporate Food Service Director for Senior Resource Group. Thank you for hosting me at your beautiful property. Chef Lemus and I are outside. We're socially distanced, so we're going to go ahead and do this without our masks. We're looking at focus around a Santa Barbara wine, a Queen of Hearts. It's out of Santa Barbara County, Chateaubriand, and we're going to do two dishes kind of surrounding that in a pairing. I'm going to be working on the dessert, and Chef Lemus is going to be working on the dinner. Take it away.
I'm going to do beef Chateaubriand, and Sean is going to do a beautiful lava cake with some fresh berries. So let's start. To do Chateaubriand, we use beef tenderloin, and I like to use a beautiful center piece of the beef tenderloin. This piece right here is about 1 pound, which is perfect for 2 people. So we're gonna start by seasoning. I got some kosher salt. Okay, we're gonna do some fresh cracked pepper. Alright, it's beautiful and seasoned. I'm gonna put some olive oil in the pan. And we're gonna sear the tenderloin. I love the sound of searing. Alright, the idea for the Chateaubriand is to sear the tenderloin on all sides. So this process might take, a few minutes for a perfect medium rare. In the meantime, while we sear the tenderloin, let's go back to Sean so he can show us how to start doing the lava cake. All right, Sean?
Chocolate lava cake is something great. It's just a few ingredients. You can do it at your home. You can just make it in little muffin pans, or you can actually make it inside a nice little souffle dish like this. It's some simple ingredients. You would start off, heat up your oven to 425 degrees. That's 425, and you're going to get that warmed up while you do a couple things. One thing you're going to do, you're going to add a stick of butter. That's going to be a half a cup of butter, and you're going to just melt that inside a saucepan. Right there, we're going to put that in there, and we're going to put that not too hot, and we're going to put that in with our chocolate, which I've already measured out 4 ounces of chocolate, and that's right here. We're going to add that in there. We're going to fold those ingredients together and just stir them up inside the pan to incorporate the chocolate and the butter together. It'll incorporate really easy with a saucepan. You don't want to have it up too high. You just want to get the ingredients melted. One thing we're going to prep a couple eggs over here. So we're going to just crack 2 eggs. Put 2 eggs inside a dish. There's 2 of those, and we're going to whisk those up together real quick. And the only thing we're going to add to these eggs is a little bit of vanilla. I'm going to use some pure vanilla over here. So I've got my whisking done perfectly on my eggs. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon, kind of rule of thumb on a teaspoon. Usually 1 cap will get you a teaspoon right there. So there's your cap of your vanilla, and all vanillas have about the same size caps. You get about a teaspoon out of those, and we're going to whisk that together. To add to our chocolate, as our chocolate melts, we're going to get all our butter all incorporated, and we're going to add a half a cup of powdered sugar, and a half cup of powdered sugar is going to come over here, and we're going to add a 1/4 cup of, see my cheat notes underneath there if you look close enough. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of just all-purpose flour. These are going to incorporate, those ingredients will be in there. It's getting a little hot, so I'm going to pull it off the flame. We don't want to get it too hot. And then I'm going to add in my flour here. There we go. As these incorporate together, it's going to make a really nice consistency. We want it to be almost creamy in our consistency. We don't want many lumps inside there. While this is still cooking down a little bit, I'm just going to take our spray off our dishes so they're ready to go in the oven. We're going to give those a little bit of hand coating. I'll incorporate some ingredients in a minute. Why don't you take it over to Chef Lemus over there?
So this is how beef tenderloin will look like after searing it from all sides. for a few minutes. It might take up to 10-12 minutes depending on the thickness of the tenderloin. So we're gonna let it rest in here before we carve it, and using the same pan where I sear the beef and using all the flavors left in there by the tenderloin, we're gonna finish the sauce in the same pan. And this is one of my favorite parts here because it gets full of flavor. So I'm gonna use some fresh sliced garlic, sliced shallots, and one of the main ingredients of the Chateaubriand, which is green peppercorns. Oh, I love green peppercorns on my beef. I do though. And fresh thyme. There you go. Amazing. So we're gonna saute this. Here you go. Like you see, this is a very quick process. It takes only seconds to do that. And now I'm gonna flame it up with some brandy. It's one of my favorite parts because we're gonna flame it up and evaporate. Woo, beautiful. See the fire? That's burning out the alcohol. And once the alcohol gets burned out, we're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful reduction of the brandy along with the green peppercorns, the onions, the shallots, and the thyme. See, that's very quick. It takes probably about 15 seconds. So I'm gonna add some beef juice. If you don't have fresh beef juice, you can always use the gravy mix. You can buy a gravy mix in the store. The first process of sauteing the garlic and the shallots and stuff like that is what actually is going to give it the main flavor to this sauce. All right? So we're going to let the sauce reduce for like another 30 seconds. And then we're going to finish it with some butter. All right? You know, when you serve Chateaubriand, you can always use your favorite starch. Some sorts of potatoes is always the best recommendation for that. And vegetables, it's unlimited what you can do. You can do a single vegetable like asparagus or broccolini or something like that. Or you can go with mixed vegetables. Mixed vegetables is always my favorite. This time I'm doing some beautiful julienne vegetables. On the vegetables I have squashes, carrots, leeks, onions, and red peppers. You can always add any other vegetables you might like. So I choose julienne vegetables because they cook very quickly. You want your vegetables to be nice and al dente and flavorful. So I have a pan going in here. So I'm gonna add some olive oil. And I'm gonna place a little bit of garlic just for flavor. You know, you don't wanna burn the garlic. You just wanna let it release some of the flavors. And I'm gonna put a little bit of thyme. There you go. We just wanted them to release the flavors. Once you overcook it or even brown it or burn it, actually change the flavors a lot. So I'm gonna place the julienne vegetables. Here we go. It's beautiful and colorful. And I'm gonna add some kosher salt and fresh pepper. Oh my God, look at this. I'm getting hungry already. All right, while we cook the vegetables, we're gonna get back to the sauce. So you can see the sauce is nice and reduced. So I'm gonna finish it with some butter cubes. You know, the more butter you put, the better, obviously. But I think about 2 ounces should be enough there for actually more than 2 people. There you go. So we're gonna mix it out so the butter emulsifies into the sauce. It's beautiful. So adding the butter last actually emulsifies the sauce and make it look very nice and creamy. And that's what we want. We want a beautiful creamy sauce. Look at this. Isn't it amazing? Beautiful. All right. Now since we have the sauce ready, I'm gonna go ahead and carve the tenderloin. Now when you slice the tenderloin, you can always slice it thin or thick, you know, any way you like. Any way you do is good. I recommend it to go a little bit on the thick side, maybe half an inch to an inch thickness. So here you go. We're gonna slice it. See that? You have a beautiful medium rare in there. Unbelievable. This is Chateaubriand for 2. All right, so we're gonna place the tenderloin in the plate. Oh my God, look at this. Can't beat a good Chateaubriand on Valentine's Day. All right, and then we're gonna put the sauce over the tenderloin. Unbelievable dish. Look at this, the shallots, the green peppercorn, fresh thyme florets. You know, if you use fresh thyme, don't chop it up. Just pull out the leaves and the little florets from it. And that will be just enough. Let me just add a little more sauce to it. Here you go. Oh my God. And now our vegetables are ready. So, like I say, you can always use your favorite starch. The vegetables should be enough for this beautiful dish. Look at the color and all the flavors there are on this vegetable. That's the reason why I love mixed vegetables. In any way, you can dice them, slice them, chop them up. Julienne, a little fancy like I did this time. So here you have it. A beautiful beef Chateaubriand.
Okay, so we have our chocolate all melted together with our butter and our powdered sugar and our flour. What we're going to do is incorporate our ingredients, which are eggs. So we're just going to do a little bit at a time. We're going to do it just a little bit, and we're going to incorporate that and start whisking it together. And it automatically, since your chocolate's already hot, you don't want it to cook the eggs. So you really have to whisk them in there pretty quickly. It's one of the techniques that you're going to use. The only real technique that you need on this that's really important. What you don't want to do is get scrambled eggs in the middle of your chocolate, because then it won't be that great of a cake. So that's your mix right there. Once your mix is done, you're going to transfer that into, you can either do a muffin pan, or you can do these nice little creme brulee pans. And we're just going to put those right inside there. We fill them up. I'm just going to pour them straight. There's one, there's two, there's three, and there's, let's finish off the one more over here. There's 4. You don't want to fill it over the top. They are going to rise a little bit while they're cooking, and they're going to stay soft in the middle. So these will just be transferred onto a baking sheet. You take them together on a baking sheet, put them inside the oven, 425 degrees for 7 minutes. Just 7 minutes, that's all it takes. 7 minutes, you're going to end up popping out one of these right here, and it's going to be all baked, and there's going to be a nice soft center here, and that can be easily transferred. You just pop it right out onto a plate, and once it's on the plate, I like to hit mine with a little dredge. Actually, we're going to use a little bit of caramel here. Get a nice string going. Go, and then we're going to hit that with a dredge of powdered sugar. Give it a nice bit of look. And then we already have fresh berries on there. We'll put a fresh strawberry on there as well. And you can choose to cut those up, and I just like to garnish it off with a little bit of mint up on top. And there you have a nice chocolate lava cake